Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Ginger Yoda. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, if this is your first time visiting, please make sure you subscribe with the little, anyways, please make sure you subscribe down there. If this isn't your first time here, welcome back. Thank you very much for coming back. Today's video is going to be completely off the beaten path for my regular video, genre. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I haven't made a video in 2 months. And the reason that I haven't made a video in 2 months is because I have been narrating my first audiobook. I've been wanting to do it for quite some time, and I finally decided to just kind of take the plunge and do it. This particular video, I'm literally going to talk about just my experience narrating the book. I literally just finished. I uploaded my last chapter to the rights holder, who's the author, day before yesterday. I'm not going to talk about my room setup or what I did. I'll do that in a different video if anybody is interested. But I'm just going to talk about my experience, my first time experience, because this is my first time experience doing voiceover for an Audible book. So here we go. I joined a site called ACX, and it is the Audiobook Creation Exchange. That's what that stands for. Audiobook Creation Exchange, ACX. I just created a profile. I don't have any narration experience in the Audible book world, but I did have just a few little things here and there. Little bites and stuff like that. Nothing national, nothing televised, nothing anything, but just PowerPoints and stuff like that for work. And I've done a lot of public speaking and just stuff like that. So it's something that I've kind of always wanted to get into, and I just decided, like I said, to do it. So I created a profile on ACX, and it just was really simple. Now, your profile on ACX is not going to drive any traffic to you. You have to go out and you have to be the one that is auditioning and finding work that you want to do. My profile means nothing. I mean, I could have said I was, Bozo the Clown, and nobody would have looked at it. It just didn't matter. So anyways, on ACX, there are book titles, published books that are on there continuously and updated on a regular basis that you can audition for to be the voiceover talent for that particular book. And there's all kinds, there's all different types of books. There's different types of lengths of books. And there is also, male, female, adult, tween, teen, young, there's just kind of everything. There's something there for everybody. So I happen to really enjoy the zombie apocalypse genre, vampires, zombies, and stuff like that. I just like it. I read that. I love The Walking Dead. I love I just love those type of shows. So I found a book that was it was meant for me. I found the book and I did an audition, and I basically saw the book in the morning. It was like a new book in the morning on ACX I had checked, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I quickly did a audition tape, sent it in to her, not thinking anything of it, thinking there wasn't in a million years she was gonna choose me. She got right back to me and said that she wanted me to narrate. She loved it. She loved my audition. She loved it. So now ACX does everything for you, literally everything for you, and they take a cut of your money. They take a cut of it. So I think that most of the books on here are a royalty share, which means that you're sharing in any royalties from the purchase of the books. Now, this book may not be purchased by anyone. This audiobook, the book that I chose is a book that has been published since 2013. So it's a hard copy book that has been published. It is on Amazon's list, and she's done well with her sales, and she's gotten good reviews. But who knows if anybody will buy this Audible book? So it's very, it's possible that I will have, done this and not made any money off it. But the reason that I decided to do it and thought it was okay to do the royalty share was to just have exposure and have a credit of recording an Audible book. Plus, I really, really liked her. I mean, I think I just completely lucked out on my first narration for an Audible book. I totally loved the author. She was awesome, and I really enjoyed the book. So with that being said, I did my audition tape, and this is all very easy to do. If you go on ACX, they pretty much do everything for you because, like I said, they take a cut of the money. So you get a 50/50 royalty share with the publisher, the rights holder, but Audible or ACX gets a portion of that as well. So whatever's left over, whatever sales there are, the author and myself split the sale. And when you do a book for Audible, for ACX, you're also considered the producer. So I'm the narrator and the producer of the book because I did all of the editing, I did the voiceover, and I did all of the editing. And that's what I'm going to tell you about right now. So I chose a book that was 7.5 hours in length. I'm going to look and see what the word count is because I don't remember. I think the word count was like 76,000 or something like that. Let me find it here. Yeah, my book word count was, I'm sorry, I'm looking, 76,966. So essentially 77,000 words with an anticipated 8-hour runtime. So after she liked my audition, wanted me to do the book, ACX sends you over the offer, you sign it, and you have to provide the first 15 minutes to the author, and then the author approves it, and then you move forward, and you have a deadline date. My deadline date was May 18th. I got it done the day before yesterday. So I got the manuscript, and I read the book. So there's 7 hours. 7.5 hours. I read the book, 7.5 hours. Then when I did the recording, I broke the recording up. I would read like 2 or 3 chapters at a time. Your voice gets a little bit, your voice can get a little bit husky and rough and everything. But you can get up and walk around, drink a lot of water, and do everything. So I would say that reading the book, about 7 hours reading it, just hard copy reading it, doing all the audio for it. Each chapter, there were the smallest chapter, I believe, was 6 minutes. That was chapter 1. And then there was one chapter that may have been 22 minutes. Everything else was about 18 to 17 minutes. So I would do like 4 chapters at a time. There were 27 chapters. You do opening credits, closing credits, a 2-minute retail sample, and then the book. So doing all of that, I would say that all the recording probably took me, I would say 3 days, 3 days worth of work. Because when you're reading a script, you're stopping, you're changing, you're doing things. So it isn't like you're just reading through. You're reading through, you're messing up, you're doing things. So 3 days putting the book on raw audio. Okay. And you do mess up, especially this is my first time. So it was fun. It was kind of fun listening back on the video and just hearing all of my mess ups. But anyways, so all of my raw audio, let's just go with 3 days of work. So now I'm 4 days in. I got 4 days into this. The editing was, the editing was legit. Each chapter, for whatever reason, took me 2 to 3 hours, like whether it was a 15-minute chapter or a 30-minute chapter. Because on my raw audio, almost all of it was over 25 minutes. Even if the chapter was 15 minutes, it was over 25 because there was a little bit of, there was spaces, there was messing up, there was going back, there was retaking, retake. And sometimes words that you think you really can say, you can't when you're reading them. So it just takes a little bit of time. So anyways, I would say 3 hours of editing for each chapter. There were 27 chapters. What I did was just say I'm going to do 2 chapters a day, period. That's what I'm going to do. So with that said, it does take quite a bit of time. And again, this was my very first book. So I knew nothing going into it. I had no idea. I didn't know any sort of time frame that it would take me. I just didn't know. I went into it very open-minded and I was just going to do it. I really didn't expect, the editing is, like I said, it's legit. You've got to get rid of the popping sounds, the clicking sounds, any background noise, any silences you've got to shorten up. And it's very time consuming. And when you think that it wouldn't be, it really is. However, I did really notice that towards the end, my last 5 or 6 chapters or whatever, I had it down a little bit more. I was way more familiar with my platform that I was using, which was Audible Audition, which I absolutely love. I also used Audacity at the beginning, which is free, and that was fine too. I just thought that Audible Audition was a little bit more intuitive, and so that's kind of what I wanted. So I completed the book, and what you do is each time you, well, I did all the raw material, and then I went through and I would edit maybe 5 chapters at a time, and then you upload it chapter by chapter on ACX. And ACX has very strict guidelines. You have to, it has to be at a certain decibel. It has to be um, at a certain mono, or either all mono or all stereo. But the site tells you how to do everything. So all in all, it was a very user-friendly experience. It was very easily done. It wasn't difficult. I didn't really have to figure things out on my own. The editing was just the hardest part of it, which you just wouldn't expect. But I totally loved it. So now I've finished the book. It's all uploaded. The rights holder or the publisher, her name is Tracy. She's got the book now. She's super excited. She's reading it. I think today. She was on vacation and said that she'd be reading it today. So I'll know more, and I'll know when it's actually going to be up on the Audible site. All in all, a wonderful experience. I think I really lucked out with this first book and the person that I was doing it for. Um, the editing is challenging though, so I would actually really recommend, if I was to do this again, although I really loved this book, I would probably do like a 3 hour book, and they do have those. Versus a 7 hour, because it just takes a way more time than you think it will. And the truth is, I may not get paid at all. There maybe I don't know how many will sell. I don't know how many books will sell. I think it's a great book. It's a book that I would actually get on Audible. I have Audible. It's a book that if I saw it come up like as a new book, I would get it, just because I like that genre. I like that apocalyptic zombie genre, so I would get it. But we'll see, and I'll do an update on that as well. On what the sales were like. It isn't published yet because she's still approving it. But it was a fun experience. The editing was a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be. Actually, it was a little bit more time consuming than I thought it would be. But it was fun all in all. If you have any questions or any comments, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this and have a good day. Bye.